This is the AI visibility dashboard for the brand Goodr. Goodr is a sunglasses brand, and I'll kind of walk you through each piece individually. So up here on the left is their visibility percentage, and their visibility percentage is how often are they mentioned in the prompts that they are tracking and that they care about. And prompts are very similar to keywords in traditional search. So down here, we have 5 topics, and then within each of these topics, we have 10 specific prompts that we're tracking. The prompts don't need to be incredibly unique and varied. What really matters here is the breadth of data. And so what we really say is come up with a topic, and then within that topic, 10 to 15 prompts is a good starting place. But the more, the better. These AI tools have so much variance in their individual responses that we really just want a wide breadth of data. And so 50 prompts being tracked here. And then as we can see across Goodr here, they have excellent AI visibility. So across all 50 of these prompts, 80% of the time, Goodr shows up as an actual recommendation. And so we can come into any one of these prompts, 96% on best running sunglasses that don't bounce. And then we can click into this actual response from ChatGPT, and we can see, hey, great, Goodr is getting recommended here a bunch, far more than even most of the other brands in here. And so that is kind of the key KPI that you're tracking as number one is your brand being mentioned? Are you being recommended? Then the second thing we have here that's worth looking at is your sources and citations. If I come into, let's go into this one here, and then, let's filter by ChatGPT, we can see, okay, so for these 10 prompts we're tracking here, 76% of the time, ChatGPT is citing Running World as a source, Runner's World. So if I'm looking at my marketing and my PR team and we're trying to find sources that we think are good to go get placements in, number one by far is Runner's World. And so I bet if we went and looked at any of these individual sources here, we would see Goodr is really frequently getting mentioned in these Runner's World articles. And so you can start to use these sources and citations here to reverse engineer a content strategy that you can use to start to come up with how you want to go about tackling these topics. As far as coming up with your topics and prompts go, we have a help article in our knowledge base that you can take a look at. But broadly, you want to cover all your specific key selling points or value prompts at a high level. So for Goodr here, it's running sunglasses, polarized sunglasses, sunglasses that don't slip is a really common selling point. And then they focus a ton on outdoor sports, so pickleball, golf, and then fun, stylish sunglasses that are still high performance. And so those are the 5 topics they came up with. And then within these topics, it's all variations of similar questions. Best everyday sunglasses with personality, best colorful sunglasses, fun sunglasses that aren't overpriced. Really, like I said, it's just about a breadth of data. 15 to 20 prompts is a great high end, minimum 10 to make sure you have a good level of data. And so now, okay, you have 80% here. What does that mean? Is that good? Is that bad? Is that common? Is that uncommon? So the first way you can start to see how you compare is with competitor tracking. So within Triple Whale, you can add your competing brands, and then those competing brands will be overlaid on your visibility right alongside your brand. So you can look and see that Goodr is absolutely crushing Ray-Ban, they're crushing Knockaround, they're crushing Tifosi. All these other brands they're competing with, Goodr is by far the most performant. And so to set a good benchmark, you'll want to make sure you add in your competitors to compare against. Very broadly, for young upstart brands, anything over 10% visibility is great. For challenger brands, you're looking at 20 to 30% visibility as a really solid benchmark. And then for national brands, they really should be aiming over 50% visibility. Those numbers vary a ton by vertical and niche, but broadly, those are decent metrics you can use as a starting point. But the benchmarks you see here are great as well. So can filter by ChatGPT and Gemini. The data will be different. You'll notice that Gemini uses a lot more sources and a lot wider variance of those sources than ChatGPT. So highest cited source for Gemini is 0.72%, whereas ChatGPT 38% across all the topics. So a much easier time influencing ChatGPT directly for AI visibility because you can address the sources it cares about directly. Whereas with Gemini and Google, it leans more on traditional SEO. So that's kind of a quick walkthrough of how to actually track and how to actually look at what you're doing here. The most important piece is this space is so new. We're still figuring everything out that you really just need to have a way to measure, hey, if we change something, if we update our site schema, if we go get more PR placements, can we see a noticeable lift in our visibility and in our mention rate? And so that's really what this gives you the ability to do is track, hey, if we make a bunch of changes, if we make updates, can we see lift and can we measure lift? That's what this tracking gives you the ability to do.